Righty-roo and cuckoo-ca-choo to you and all my nobody's not watching out there. I purchased a copy for about $3.50, and that's partially why I did. It was literally $3.24. It was on sale. It was $3.24. It's about as cheap as it's going to be, and I kind of looked up some reviews, and it looks like this one's supposed to be better than the other one and shorter, which is good, I think. You only have one character to deal with, and it's supposed to have other things that made it better. I didn't read everything about it. I was just like, you know what? I'm not enjoying Alan Wake. The story's good or whatever, but it just feels like I'm wandering around most of the time, and it's not entertaining for me or fun. And then you just suddenly get swarmed with enemies, and you shoot them, and they beat the crap out of you or don't. And it's like, it just seems like it's like, we just wanted to make it larger than it really needed to be for no purpose. And it's like, can we condense this? Like, can we make this faster? Like, there's just a bunch of empty space out there that if you looked at it from an overworld map and you just looked at it, you'd just be like, nothing happens here and there's no purpose to it. It does make the world feel more real, but often it just gets you lost, or you don't know where you're supposed to go, even though you do have a little thing that shows you where to go. You know, as a gamer, I naturally want to explore, and I don't know, the handling's okay. You know, shooting the gun, it's not great, but it seems to work. It's just not that fun. It's just not that fun, and the storyline wasn't enough to keep me. I might go back to it. I might not. It was free. I feel like I'll look up how many chapters it is. I'm on the 3rd chapter now, and I'm like, it took me this long to get to the fucking 3rd chapter. Fuck all that. Like, even if I'm trying to like speed run it and just ignore things and leave things behind and not worry about it, it just seems like it's still gonna take forever, and I don't know if I care. And it just, again, I just wasn't having fun. So I was gonna play the other game that was free, which is like a game where you're a fox. I think it's called Endling or something. You got like little fox babies, and that one's just sad, and it's like, my understanding is it looks like it's just sad and depressing. Like, it's just gonna be sad and depressing. It might be fun, it might be good, it might have good gameplay, but it's just like, I got enough of that from fucking the trek to Yomi or whatever. That was, you know, like, and I still kind of enjoyed that to some degree, but it's like, I don't, you know what, I don't know. Apparently there isn't really, like, I considered trying to buy a copy of Miles Morales, and it's still hella expensive, and it's like, dude, it's a shorter game than the Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 has already been like announced, and they have like a trailer for it and everything. Like, even the DLC and stuff for Spider-Man wasn't like cheap enough that I was willing to buy it. So I was just like, you know what, now I guess I'll just look around, and I saw this in the store and it was $3.24, and I'm like, apparently I've got this masochistic streak, because I don't know, maybe I've been watching too much stuff on YouTube where the people, the creators are doing something they clearly don't want to do, but it's for content. Like, this guy used to be on Cracked, but he goes by, I don't know if this is really his name, or he just says, I think he made his own channel, because Cracked, I think that went down again, or didn't, but it's barely keeping afloat and only has like 2 things on it, or whatever, I don't know. But he's Dr. Jordan Breeding, and one of the things he's doing now is more of a long form thing where he'll watch the entirety of a series, like Friday the 13th, or, you know, all the Saw movies, and there'll be like a little bit of a background to it where he's like, you know, when he did the Friday the 13th one, he was like, you know, camping in the woods somewhere, or like at a cabin house, and he got chased around, and yeah, he does a good job just sort of making it funny and basically explaining the entirety of the series, like, this is what happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens, you know, and then he has his own little commentary, makes it funny and stuff, but you can tell that it's like a labor of love. Like, these things, sometimes they're like an hour to 3. I think the longest one was like 3.5 hours long. And I've been watching a lot of those because I didn't realize. I realized he had left Cracked, but I don't think I saw his new channel. So I'm like, I've missed all of those. So I'm like trying to go through them, and they're funny. They're good. They're worth watching. But they're hard to make, and you can tell how, like, as he's making them, he's just like, can we please stop? I don't want to do this anymore. You can see how he's like, I don't know how long it takes to shoot these things, if it's going to be that long, but then there has to be editing, and there has to be all this other stuff, and it's just like, it's got to be such a hassle for him. You can see how he's pained, because it's like, this just keeps going. And maybe that's rubbing off on me, so I decided I'm ready to be hurt again and go play Shadows in New York. So I guess that's the intro. Yeah, we'll just do the intro on why I'm doing this. Well, just because I've talked for a moment. And I did hear it was better. Like, I read a couple reviews and I tried to, like, avoid anything that had any spoilers in it. But I wanted to see how, if it would be, like, because if it was going to be just as bad, I was not even willing to. But it seems like this one's shorter. That's a pro. It's only faced around one character, so they actually seem to care about the character. It's not just a blank slate that has slightly different powers and a somewhat different background. It's like they actually cared enough to focus on a character. And I think there may be some sort of morality system to some degree. So that affects the different endings, and I think there's more endings. Doesn't mean I'm going to play through it more than once, but also I get to play as a hot goth girl this time. You know, look at it, hot goth girl. And she's the Sombra, which is like they're like shadow based. And it happens very closely after Coteries of New York, since that's still kind of fresh in my mind. Although I did actually go back and watch the only video I have that's not already uploaded, or it's been uploaded, but I didn't delete it. I like to leave the last video I made of something on there, so I can go back and look at it, just in case I play again, then I can remember where I was, just that I beat it, and like my review. And I listened to my review, and it's just like, man, I was so like annoyed and angry and sad, like. That is probably one of the worst reviews I've given to anything in a long time. So, I'd already downloaded it by then, paid my $3.24, but no one could make me play it, but I'm making myself. But, you know what? Hopefully this one will be better. And, yeah, let's just hope it is. I just want to say this because I've been thinking it. Her cigarette smoke, it's going up, and there's like that creature that's got like glowy eyes behind her, looks kind of like Frank from Donnie Darko, and that's a good sign. So I'm just gonna give it a shot, and maybe I'll hate myself for it, and maybe I won't make it through the game because I'm like, nah, you burnt me once. But it does seem like it could be better, but we won't know until we start. And the only way to begin is by beginning. So I'm going to end this one and make sure my sound levels are decent or whatever, and then I'll give it a shot. And we'll see how terrible this is, or if it sort of helps. I don't know. We'll see. Makes the thing better. We'll see.